Friends, good evening. I hope you enjoyed this wonderful documentary film on the life of legendary musician, music director R.D. Burman, popularly known as Pancham Da. The name of the film is Pancham Unmixed, which is directed by Brahmanand Singh, filmmaker Brahmanand Singh. So I do hope you all enjoyed this film, watching this film on the life of Pancham Da. The filmmaker Brahmanand Singh is also going to join us just now for an interaction on the film. Brahmanand Singh ji, namaskar.
Namaskar ji.
Friends, we have with us a veteran director, writer, producer Brahmanand Singh, who has made several documentary films and also fiction films. He's making fiction films also now. His latest film, Jhalki, feature film, we screened in our last film festival. And this time we are screening his documentary film, Pancham Unmixed, which we just screened. So, Brahmanand Singh ji, congratulations. We are receiving many feedbacks, lot of good wishes, good feedbacks for the film.
Thank you. Thank you.
First of all, I'll read one comment which we have received. The comment is from veteran actor and director, Akash Khurana. Akash Khurana is a well-known actor and director. He has written, the documentary on Pancham Da is superb.
Thank you. Thank you, Akash bhai. Yes, I know it means a lot for me coming from you. This is always good to hear, someone so veteran and someone who has lived that era, who has maybe been with Pancham Da. These are people who, when they talk about the film, they add a certain perspective to the comments. So it's always very, very good. Thank you, sir.
In fact, we are also screening Mr. Akash Khurana's latest feature film,
yes,
The River of Love. We are in fact premiering the film for the first time in India.
Oh, okay.
On Saturday morning at 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a very beautiful film. How emotions flow with the river Ganges.
Lovely, lovely.
So
I would look forward to, yes.
We have our admin head, Mr. Gopal Verma, Colonel Gopal Verma with me, and he wants to ask you a few questions.
Sure, sir. Please go ahead.
Namaskar, Brahmanand ji.
Namaskar, sir.
In fact, few minutes back, I was about to ring up Harsh and ask not to connect me for this interaction. Reason is that after watching this Pancham Unmixed, Mujhe Chalte Jana Hai, believe me, I am in a trance. I think it rarely happens that one gets into this kind of trance in which I am currently in. Believe me.
Yes.
So moving tribute, such a wonderful effort.
Thank you.
First of all, Brahmanand ji, my compliments to you on making this wonderful documentary on R.D. Burman. After watching it, I can appreciate and imagine the mammoth effort you have put in this wonderful, in making this wonderful documentary.
Thank you, sir.
In this movie, Gulzar Sahab narrated a very interesting aspect about Pancham Da's life, that he did not have much patience. If hot tea was served to him, he will pour cold water into it.
Yes.
And various celebrities in the documentary described him in various words like unique, brilliant. And Asha ji said that bada dost aadmi tha wo. I will begin with asking you, what are the three main traits you would associate with Pancham Da? This mega character called called R.D. Burman, Rahul Dev Burman.
So one is what I would say brilliance and learner, together. He was a forever learner by the look of it, Everything for him was had a childlike curiosity, had a learning quotient to it, was an experience which needed to be explored. So that was one thing. I think second, no matter how no matter how big a genius you are, unless you have the rigor of working together with people in a knowing, mindful kind of a way, you will not be able to have this kind of a resume, this kind of an this kind of a career. Uh, uh, so many movies, so many songs, and the percentage of songs, extraordinary songs, are so high that it's almost miraculous. So I would say that. So the second quality would be the complete technical know-how, understanding, and people working together, creating masterpieces. And I think third amazing aspect would be a superhuman being, you know, a soft, gentle, kind, humorous, laughing human being, um, and dignified, dignified, graceful, came from that kind of a background, where dignity means a lot of things. And even in his difficult times, he could never bring himself to the cheap games that many other of his contemporary played. So I think that speaks volume about the person. That when Mr. Bachchan was down and out, and when it's public knowledge now, so I'm sharing this, that when Banega Crorepati had offered 1 crore for 26 episodes, uh, he was mocked by his family, his wife, his son, that what now you will do what so and so does, naming some anchor who would do. I mean, you don't associate with that with Bachchan. And he said that no, there's nothing wrong with that. We are in difficult times, and I would take this offer. And that is a time that a very close friend of his said, nothing doing, Amit ji, आप करो, बेशक करो, मगर this is not your value. So you have to ask them for 1 crore per episode. Take it or leave it. So 1 crore में 26 और 1 crore per episode. And he somewhere believed in that, and he did it, and that is what happened. And the one thing that Amitabh Bachchan was told by this close friend of his, that your times are bad. You may be in a difficult time, but you are the same Amitabh Bachchan. Understand your worth, understand your dignity, So here, of course, we are talking about a certain equation with the fees, but I'm not getting into the fees always, but I'm talking about the grace element, the dignity element, which I think he managed even in his very, very difficult days, like you must have seen in the film, that he could not bring himself to doing cheap games, and, always would let go. Yes. So these are three very interesting
There is
aspects. Yes.
there is one more comment, Gopalji. I'll just read out the comment, then you carry on.
Mm-hmm.
The comment is from Jyoti Venkatesh.
Mm-hmm.
He writes, mesmerized by your film. It is for the first time that I have seen it, though I had seen the film on Jagjit Singh earlier.
Yes. So Jyoti has been a good friend, and we have been together at hundreds of festivals where we have met each other, spent time, and I value Jyoti a lot for his comments always. And he's one of the veteran critics, veteran journalists, very senior. And I always invite Jyoti for any of my screenings or events and all. It is Jyoti who sometimes comes and sometimes is busy, it doesn't come. So I think it must be one of those where he must have missed out seeing R.D. Burman. Otherwise, I have always invited him. But I'm happy that he managed to see it today, because I would have wanted him to see, because this was a forerunner to the Jagjit Singh film. This was made much earlier. Yes. Thank you, Jyoti. Thank you, Jyoti. Yes.
So that is the hallmark of a gentleman, even if whole world is throwing darts and muck at you, you remain a gentleman. That's what I learned
Absolutely.
after watching this movie.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
Nandji, did you personally meet R.D. Burman ji?
No,
Uh,
I never
uh,
met him, and I never met him, and this was my way of compensating for that. I always wanted to meet him, never met him. The year that I came to Bombay, that was the year when he passed away, and and I was trying to get my bearings in Bombay, and that's the time that I heard he passed away. So that was a big shocker, because 54 years of age, no age to
no,
go, you know.
yes.
And I had known a little bit about him, and I was pained at the difficult phase that he had gone, though of course I did not know as much as I got to know while making the film. But I was aware that, well, he was going through low time and low days and things like that. And then and he passed away, and then I heard the songs of 1942, and I said, wow. I said that. And you know anybody and everybody who he knew, he was close friends with, he had once mentioned invariably that 1942 will pull me back, and well, sure enough, the music was absolutely top class, no doubt about that. And it's really sad that he could not live to see his following, his and the following has grown. Like, you'll remember Javed Akhtar Sahab saying in the film that
How
mujhe,
beautifully he is described as
yeah,
the last
yeah,
punch.
absolutely. And he says that मुझे लगता है कि पंचम की पॉपुलैरिटी बढ़ती जा रही है, और ये बड़े लोगों की निशानी है. Time is kind to great people. What a beautiful way to put that. And I
True,
think,
true.
and today I think, if you see, looking back, and which is what is prompting me from inside to make a longer version, maybe a series or something, capturing many of the things that I could not capture in the film, calling it the Pancham legacy, because he's left a legacy behind, a huge legacy. Today you talk to any big composer, musician, music director, singer, किसको मानते हो, बोलते हैं आर डी बर्मन को मानता हूँ. मतलब सीधी सी बात है. और नाम बाद में आते हैं. आर डी बर्मन, हु इज योर मोस्ट फेवरेट म्यूजिक कंपोजर? आर डी बर्मन. एक टैलेंट हंट शो में कोई 11 साल की बच्ची थी, कुछ साल पहले की बात है. 11 साल की बच्ची थी, गाने गाई, बहुत अच्छे से गाने गाई. एंड शी वॉज आस्क्ड दैट, what do you want to become, when you grow up? And so she said, I want to meet R.D. Burman. And now look at the innocence of the girl. She didn't know that he had passed away, and that was her urge. And I think that uh, you ask anybody and they will say R.D. Burman. You ask Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan in those times, he said that मेरे सारे गाने एक तरफ, और पंचम का तेरे बिना जिंदगी से शिकवा तो नहीं एक तरफ. So these are either that or Tum Aa Gaye Ho Noor Aa Gaya. I'm confusing, but one of the two songs of Andhi. And I think these are huge compliments. These are ways of complimenting. I mean, it does not mean that Nusrat Fateh Ali Saab's song was any less.
Namaste, Brahmananji.
Namaste.
So nice to see you again.
Namaste ji, Supriti. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you so much. मैं तो अच्छे से सुन रही थी बस बैकग्राउंड में. So such lovely stories you're telling us about Pancham Da. It is like an amazing. We are only recipients. I always look at not. I don't know much about his music. Whatever I know is very little. I think there is so much to know about the depth of the man that he was, which helped him to create the kind of music he did. I want to ask you, what is the role that Asha ji played?
Well, I think if you ask me, on a creative front, a tremendous synergy, tremendous partnership, tremendous bonhomie, and I think that I'm sure that right from the beginning of Pancham Das' career, I think Asha played a stellar role in all his compositions in terms of rendering it. I think Asha Bhosle and Kishore Kumar, well, to in a slightly different way to a great extent, even Lata Di. But Asha Bhosle and Kishore Kumar, these two definitely were his, soul by way of expression. So I think in terms of creative partnership, it has been an amazing partnership. As far as personal partnership is concerned, well, they were married, they lived together, they stayed together. But I feel that it was something which was full of ups and downs, and in his downs, I think she could have done a little better, definitely, than what probably she managed. Uh, I I don't know whether people know these things or not, understand these things or not. उस समय में जब होते रहता है तो उसका वैल्यू नहीं पता चलते रहता है. But when you look back and you see that there was someone who was lonely, there was someone who was down and out, and you are the closest person, and then they have to, depend on others to get even that moral support. Just एक line की नहीं कुछ नहीं, it's okay, ठीक हो जाएगा. These things, when people are going through difficult times, they don't want logic, they don't want lectures. Maybe Pancham, it was difficult time. Maybe Pancham Da had himself created a situation for himself. I'm not trying to justify the situation, but I'm saying that whenever whoever is down and out needs friends, needs family, and there's a big difference, those who have it and those who don't.
I'm just going to ask you one more thing. So sometimes when artists go through their low phase, maybe it helps them to create better art, either as an actor or as a composer or as a singer. वो जो दर्द उन्होंने खुद महसूस किया है, उसको पर्दे पे लाने के लिए शायद वो सिचुएशन उनको हेल्प करती है. ऐसा लगता है आपको?
देखो, see as रॉकस्टार फिल्म में तो यही थीम पे है कि जब तक दर्द नहीं होगा तो कहाँ से एक्सप्रेशन निकलेगा. वो बात तो सही है, वो बात है. बट जिसमें मैं पंचम दा के बेस्ट गाने हैं उसमें उनको दर्द और तकलीफ नहीं थी. You understand? But still he created brilliant stuff. I think an artist has to be imaginative enough to know what pain is. He has to be sensitive enough to empathize with others. The moment you empathize, you know what the other person is going through. Empathy is a huge quality in any artist because it helps them place in the other person's shoes to experience that. So I think to that extent, yes. But when you're going through, and you must be going through hell, and maybe your art has flowered even more, but then if you don't have a support system of any kind, it's that much more difficult. I mean, it takes from the people who go through difficult times, great artists, like human beings, there are hundreds of them who just cave in. There are only very few who can come out and survive in spite of that. Well, Pancham Da was to some extent one of those to me, because otherwise it was not possible to have done 1942. And even when he went through low phase, you'll find that the quality of his music always remained brilliant. In fact, late 80s, when he was going through a very difficult period, some of the songs are just brilliant in its depth and its range. So I think I agree with you, but not a great situation to be in always as a human being. Yeah.
Actually, आजकल जो ये फिल्म इंडस्ट्री में एक हमने देखा ना phase of I mean we saw this whole story around say Sushant Singh Rajput. So there are many other similar stories of people experiencing loneliness, and do you think that the film industry itself can try to do something so that people in their community don't go through these kind of situations? Is there a way to?
Yeah, होना तो चाहिए. Unfortunately, the thing is that ये सब जो मैं सुनते रहता हूँ ना, film industry is not one human being. It's a collection of hundreds of beings. इतना हम न्यूज पे सुनते रहते हैं बॉलीवुड 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 कोई एक बिल्डिंग नहीं है ना, ठीक है, बॉलीवुड कोई एक बिल्डिंग नहीं है कि उस बिल्डिंग में एक क्लब बनेगा, यू नो। सो ये सब चीजें होती है दैट यू नो, जो एक पेट्रन ढंग का जब एक होता है कोई एक बॉडी, जो राजा महाराजा के टाइम में हुआ करता था, where the artists were not bothered about their ups and downs. They were bothered about their emotional ups and downs, about their relationships, about ye, but not about success and failure and you know running into difficult times financially and this and that. So I think that, and here again, remember that as long as the producers remained a patron of sorts, there was not much of a problem. Okay, problem started when the music industries started owning music. Okay, so there the equations changed, because then the only driving force became, or heavy driving force became, the commercials. So ये चलता है वो नहीं चलता है, जैसे कद्दू बैगन का वो दाम ये लोग मोल मोलाई करते रहते हैं, वैसे ही एक कोई पार्टी थी, इस्कॉन की कोई पार्टी थी, and Shailendra Singh had told this to me that so they were talking about R.D. Burman and someone from HMV, which owes half of its revenue to R.D. Burman today, you know, with all the remixes and licensing and relicensing. So one of the HMV employees, he had a glass in his hand and he was talking great stuff, and he said, "Ha, but R.D. Burman, you know, बिकता नहीं है, you know, and R.D. Burman आजकल बिकता नहीं है." And Shailendra Singh, the good friend that he was, and he is a very witty person, he immediately said, "बिल्कुल सही बोला आपने, किसकी मजाल है कि R.D. Burman को खरीद ले?" You know, and आपने बिल्कुल सही बोला, R.D. Burman बिकता नहीं है, किसकी मजाल है कि R.D. Burman को खरीद ले? And that guy was totally stunned, you know. But look at this. I mean, when 1942 Vinod went to HMV said that no, if it's R.D. Burman, we won't be interested. You know, so I mean, someone having the audacity to say that, you know, it gives you goosebumps, and yet it's a reality. So coming back to your question, you know, that there should be a body, मगर किस तरह का body होगा? It comes from
self-regulated में ही चलेगा.
Yeah, it comes from human sensitivity, you know. आज बहुत सारे लोग जो फिल्म में भी हैं, एक सवाल आता है कि जब R.D. Burman के दुख के दिन जा रहे थे तो ये लोग भी कहाँ थे? ओके, मतलब उनमें से गिने चुने लोग उनके पास थे, नहीं तो कोई था ही नहीं. तो बहुत अच्छी बातें लोग कर लेते हैं, मगर जिस
one never knows, Brahmananji, one never knows that these very same people who are now, you know, singing praises,
yes,
they only may be behind this. I mean, that's what my understanding.
No, see, many of them played different roles. Many of them were very helpful also. Many of them tried to counsel him, because he was also difficult. Okay, artists like that who have their own, you know, self-respect, they don't look for help. Okay, एक दूसरा school of thought है, जैसे नीना गुप्ता के साथ हुआ था अभी. When she was down and out of work, she tweeted that, "Look, I am looking for roles. Please, if anyone has, I am not yet lost. I am not yet out. Please give me." And she got that badhai ho, and after that, look at where her market value and her, you know, her demand is. So sometimes you have to ask for work. Sometimes you have to ask for help, you know, and then help comes. But not everybody is meant for that. Not everybody is made like that, and he wasn't. So क्या करेंगे? These are personality types. वो तकलीफ में रहेंगे मगर किसी का help नहीं मांगेंगे. And we must value that. We must respect that also, because they're comfortable doing that. You know, so I think these things are very, very personal, one-on-one. I think as human beings, चाहे वो film industry हो, music industry हो, corporate हो, village society हो, कहीं भी कोई भी इंसान के ऊपर अगर दुख तकलीफ होता है तो उस समय में सब के सब साथ छोड़ देते हैं. वो छोड़ना नहीं चाहिए.
Society, they are big role.
as human beings, we need to evolve, you know.
Okay. Now, what I want to ask you is, uh, if we say in the world we decide, okay, we'll have a gallery of songs,
Mhm.
where topmost musicians, composers, their works will be displayed.
Mhm.
And you are given a choice that you select three songs composed or sung by Pancham Da.
Mhm.
What would be your choices?
Very difficult choice.
Slightly, it's very difficult to choose three songs.
Yeah, very very difficult. मतलब आप कम से कम 20 का ऑप्शन देंगे तो मैं थोड़ा सा खुश होऊंगा.
Three. It's only three.
तीन तीन बड़े मुश्किल हैं, but I would say I'd go more for one song from Amar Prem, one song from Tisri Manzil. So Amar Prem could be कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे या चिंगारी कोई भड़के, one of the two. Then Tisri Manzil, because there was a amazing use of brass and orchestration and music arrangement and things like that. And then maybe jumping many songs, and there are so many wonderful creations in between. I'll come to 1942, Kuch Na Kaho, because when I was talking to Louis Bank, and I spent a lot of time where he showed this to me. He said that in R.D. Burman's song, very much along the lines that you have just now mentioned, he said that in some songs I see that symphonic scope, जिससे symphony create किया जा सकता है, and that is again a huge tribute. And he identified Kuch Na Kaho as one of the songs, and the more and he played it for me, and he went into the various movements, and then would keep coming back to the main phrase, and it was a treat musically. In fact, he had told me that he wants to compose around some of R.D. Burman's tunes, some Western classical symphonic thing, and that would have really been. I need to remind him probably, that will be a great recreation.
I'm slightly moving away from Pancham Da, and I want to ask you about your work. Like you have probably published more than 3,000 articles. You have written books. You have written poems.
Mhm.
You have written short stories.
Yes.
And your books, like I'm very keen to know your book, and I confess that I have not read it,
Sure.
but today only I'm going to go and buy it.
Okay.
Like Lightness of Being, if you could tell us about.
So lightness of being. So so lightness of being is my journey of making the Jagjit Singh film. Okay, Jagjit Singh film, fortunately called Kagas Ki Kashti, enjoys a 9.2 IMDb rating, which is
That, yeah.
a mind-blowing score. But so I found that I had read a book by Kurosawa where he said that, well, it's neither a screenplay nor a diary nor a this nor a that, and I found that idea very nice. So this is all of that actually. So it's a diary also, it's a screenplay also, so it's an experience or an insight of making of Jagjit Singh and making that film, in the process of making that film. Because when you make a film, you work on it for 3 years, 4 years, and you go through so many different kinds of observations and insights. Your own understanding grows. So like, for example, making this film on Pancham, this film on Pancham, I think my understanding, which was reasonably good even when I started making it, I would say might have been about 4.5 or 5 out of 10. But in the course of making the film, it must have gone to 7.5, 8. I still have things to discover, but it's so that's the transformation that happens. That's the understanding that happens about a person, about the artist, the way they create, the manner in which they create, and so on and so forth. So these are those books, the lightness of being that you're talking about. And I'm very influenced with Kundera, so I took the name from him. Called he has a book called The Unbearable Lightness of Being. So I found that
Yeah.
Jagjit Singh represent that very well. He had a certain lightness. You know, there's a saying that angels fly because they take themselves lightly. You know, most of us, on the contrary, take ourselves very seriously. You know, whereas the greatest of
Very
art
seriously, yes.
of artists, they don't take themselves so seriously. They take their work seriously, but they never take themselves seriously. Most of them will tell you that I'm a means of that, you know, spiritual flow that happens through me. I'm happy that I was an instrument where these things got created. So I think lightness of being is a term taken from there, that you take yourself lightly and yet create wonderful things.
Wonderful. I'm definitely going to buy it today only.
Thank you.
Next, Brahmananji, I'm asking what is next in pipeline from your side?
Okay. So next is pipeline. I am working on a very large project. It's a 4-country collaboration on a film on Rumi. So that is under development right now. That's quite huge. Then there's one more feature which I'm not supposed to talk about it, though I have signed up, but it's connected with a music world again. So that, and other than that, there are several documentaries which I'm interested in, biographical. These two that I mentioned were features, but there are many documentaries that I'm interested and excited about. And let's see which one of those, after this pandemic starts taking off.
I have a comment from a viewer, so I'll just read it.
From whom?
Ricky Srivastava.
Mm-hmm.
He writes, in my view, R.D. Burman was a mystic. So
Well,
what's your view? He says he was a mystic.
So mystic, I would agree. I would agree. मिस्टिक बनने के लिए हिमालय में जाकर के रहने की जरूरत नहीं होती है. Anyone who has high level of spirituality, and I think the kind of creativity that he shows, that he has given us, it has to be so extraordinarily high level, that mystic is someone who lives in a realm which is of very high vibration, a very high frequency. So I think that he definitely lived and he was in touch with his higher self. Only then are you able to create such wonderful things. So in that sense, I 100% agree that he was a mystic. And the three brains that we have, which is this head brain, left right combined one as one brain, head brain, then the heart brain. Heart is also a kind of a brain, because you think through it, you feel through it. But the difference is that heart lives only in the moment. And then you have the third brain, which is the stomach brain. इसको gut brain कहते हैं. हमारी gut feel ये हुई, हमारी gut feel is not allowing me. So it's supposed to be the wisest. Heart lives in the moment, the stomach is supposed to be the wisest, and this is supposed to be a combination of creative and rational and all that. But I feel that your finest works come, and your finest everything comes when you have all these three in alignment. So if you can have all these three brains in sync, not contradicting each other, not at at loggerheads with each other, then so it's not that your head will tell you something, heart will pull you in a different way, and stomach will say, "Nahi, nahi, don't do it, don't touch this." So then it's conflict. But if it's in alignment, then some of the finest works happens, and that's the sign of a mystic, I would say. So yes, R.D. Burman 100% was a mystic. Thank you.
That was very, very beautifully articulated, Brahmananji. I never heard it like this, but when we think about it, yeah, that alignment is definitely so required. Brahmananji has worked a lot on scripts, I mean, writing. तो जब आप लिखते हैं तो आपको ऐसा लगता है कि अलाइनमेंट होता है? यू नो, एक 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 फिल्म बनी थी ऑन on the um, mathematician Nobel laureate we had who went to Professor Hardy.
A
Raman.
And
a beautiful mind.
A Beautiful Mind.
Russell
And
Crowe, yes.
even after that, there was another film which was made on Srinivas Ramanujam.
Raman.
And Srinivas Ramanujam, he actually said, that it is his Kula Devi who gives him the solution to a mathematical problem. And when he went to
Who gives you the solution?
his Kula Devi,
You
उनकी जो कुल देवी थी, the village
Kul Devi, yeah.
goddess,
Yeah,
she
yeah,
used to appear before him
Hmm.
and literally tell him the solution to a mathematical problem. And he would write the solution. And when he went to Oxford with Professor Hardy,
Mhm.
who sort of discovered him and said, "How come you have the solution to this problem? We have been working on it for so long." And he said, "I have it." So he said, "Okay, give me the proof." And the proof is logic. So he would fail in providing the logical proof to that. But problem though, he had the solution, but he didn't have the in-between connecting logical proof which mathematicians look for. No, and Professor Hardy understood this thing about him, but to explain that to the West was so difficult, and that's where he sort of lost out. Of course, he lost his life when he was very, very young. But I was reminded of that. Some geniuses, some great people, they really work at another level. मतलब उनकी जो पहुंच है, उनकी जो सोच है.
But Supriti, it's very true. It's very true. And like even for people like R.D. Burman, who we are talking today about, there have been so many occasions where people like Anu Malik have had caught him and he had said कि पंचम दा ये गाना आपने ऐसे बनाया, ये कितना खूबसूरत है, वो कैसे बनाया, and his one line answer would be यार बन गया, उतना सोचा नहीं. And I believe the same thing for so many other things. And A Beautiful Mind या रामानुज की जो आप बोल रहे हैं, कुल देवी. So see, the bottom line I feel is that everything exists in your mind, or your mind becomes a medium to receive and
Pass on.
and express. Yes, and express. Okay. And I feel that if you are either thinking or you become a medium, then either way it's your mind through which thing is happening. Okay. So it actually is happening with you, but you may not know the logical explanation to things. Now we have Shakespeare, we have Mozart. अब उनका काम है क्रिएट करना, लिखना. शेक्सपियर के ऊपर कम से कम तो 500 क्रिटिक्स ने किताब, 50,000 क्रिटिक्स ने किताब लिखी होगी कि ये देखो, ये सीन में ये ऐसा है, वो वैसा है, ये ऐसा है, ये बहुत अच्छा है, ये. But did Shakespeare think about those while he was writing? I don't think so. Did Mozart think of so much while he was creating? No, it came. And that is where you have to live on a higher plane. You have to be in touch with your higher self, because then you can align it, that flow gets created. It's almost like, I was telling this example to Ronuda one day and he had liked it. कि मैंने बोला था कि बांसुरी जैसे बजाते हैं तो उसमें वो ब्रेथ का फ्लो होता है, तो दैट इज द डिवाइन फ्लो. वो अगर होल नहीं रहेगा तो वो सुर नहीं निकलेंगे. उसमें अगर आज कोई कंकड़ डाल दे, कागज ठूस दे, तो हो गया, बांसुरी नहीं बजेगी. सो दोज कंकड़, पत्थर, कागज, दोज आर आवर ईगोज, आवर वैनिटी, ऑल दीज थिंग्स. तो उसको साफ रखना है. एट द सेम टाइम, वेल, वी आर ह्यूमन बीइंग्स, यू विल हैव सम ईगो. तो उसको मैंने बोला कि आप जैसे बाहर से आप छेदा मूंद रहे हैं ना, तो सुर निकल रहे हैं, तो वैसे ईगो का अगर यूज होना भी है तो बाहर से हो, अंदर से नहीं. वो डिवाइन फ्लो के में ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन नहीं होना चाहिए. सो आई थिंक दैट व्हेन यू टॉकिंग अबाउट हायर सेल्फ, when you are on a higher self, you allow that divine energy to flow through you. Okay, you call it whatever, you call it Kuldevi, you call it universe, you call it whatever, you call it science, it's all perfectly valid. Okay, everything has a science behind it. Whether we understand it or not is not needed. आज हम वाईफाई पे हम बात कर रहे हैं, we don't need to understand how the Wi-Fi works. We are enjoying it. We are talking. जब हम Zoom पे हम बात कर रहे हैं, एक बार भी अगर आप चारों में से कोई भी अगर बता दे कि आपके दिमाग में आ रहा है कि यार ये वाईफाई चल कैसे रहा है, साइंस क्या है इसका, certain things are assumed and then enjoyed. So artists enjoy it. आज हम क्रिकेट एंजॉय करते हैं, राइट? कोई अगर ऐसा विराट कोहली आज निकल जाए कि यार ये 22 गज का डिस्टेंस क्यों है बॉलिंग और इसमें 25 क्यों नहीं है, मुझे कोई बताओ कहां से ये शुरू हुआ, जब तक मैं जानूंगा नहीं मैं खेलूंगा नहीं. Okay, so then you'll be depriving yourself of the fun, right? Because you don't need to question the workings of things. It's okay, किसी ने बनाया हमें नहीं मालूम है. Okay, मगर है 22 गज है, हम खेलते हैं, it's okay. You don't need to know that in order to enjoy the game, So I think great artists
play that.
So I think great artists follow that. They play on the field. They don't question the rules and regulations, and they enjoy.
So in the documentary, Brahmanji, we had this beautiful poem by Gulzar Sahab on Pancham Da.
Yes.
So I request you also to recite at least one for us.
नहीं, वो तो गुलजार साहब ही कहते हैं तो वो अच्छा लगता है, like, but वो आप जैसे कुलदेवी की बात कहा आपने और ये कहा ना, सो एंड सॉन्ग एंड एंड पोएम ये मुझे सपने में आया था एक्चुअली. While I was working on the project, I dreamt of that song, बड़े दिल वाला जो बजाया है पूरा मैंने. If you would have noticed, that's the only song that I have kept full song. Otherwise, all have, one line, two line, 4 lines to drive forward the story. So that I dreamt, and then I heard that song 50 times, to see how relevant it is. And I found that, wow, the dream was a good one. I enjoy. And at a different point, I had dreamt about that Guldar's poem also, about that railway track. So वो गुलजार साहब ही कहते हैं तो वो बढ़िया लगता है, कि हम दो पौधों की तरफ.
आपकी एक पोएम तो सुनना है हमें. मेरा
पोएम, सो मैं उन पोएट्स में से नहीं हूँ जिन्हें सारा पोएम याद रहता है. अगर मेरे सामने मैं बुक निकालूं तो याद आ जाएगा. सो we will skip that, but there are so many poems.
Gopalji is a very good singer, so we can rather ask him to sing his favorite Pancham song.
Pancham song,
he can compensate. Instead of poem, I will be happy with the song.
Okay, तो फिर मैं performing artist बन जाऊंगा.
Yes, for all purpose you are.
Yeah, कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे बहुत खूबसूरत गाना है. कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना, छोड़ो बेकार की बातों में कहीं बीत न जाए रहना. कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना, कुछ रीत जगत की ऐसी है, हर एक सुबह की शाम हुई. कुछ रीत जगत की ऐसी है, हर एक सुबह की शाम हुई. तू कौन है, तेरा नाम है क्या, सीता भी यहाँ बदनाम हुई. फिर क्यों संसार की बातों से भीग गए तेरे नैना, कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना. बस.
Beautiful.
Wonderful. So you
Thank
don't
you
need
so
a
much.
singer for your next movie.
हाँ.
I don't need a singer for your next movie. You can sing it your.
नहीं नहीं, हर किसी की जरूरत पड़ती है.
Supriti,
I feel very privileged. I'm really telling you the truth that we are getting to interact with you. आप हमारे साथ इतना टाइम स्पेंड कर रहे हैं, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है. और मुझे सच्ची में आई एम रियली फीलिंग कि ये तो बहुत कम लोगों को ऐसे मौके मिलते हैं, you know. So thanks to Harsh and thanks to this festival. It's a beautiful conversation, and you are being so open and so generous with yourself. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you
मैं
so
एक
much.
सवाल पूछना चाहता हूँ ब्रह्मानंद जी आपसे.
हाँ जी.
अपने असगरी बाई पे भी फिल्म बनाई है,
Hmm.
तो आपने बहुत सारे म्यूजिशियन पे काम किया है, तो असगरी बाई पे जो फिल्म बनाई थी उसका अनुभव कैसा था आपका, और हाउ वाज द रिस्पांस?
बहुत ही जबरदस्त अनुभव था. और so one clue is that I come from a musical family. Okay, जहाँ पे my own father was a very good musician. तो कान में बहुत गया हुआ है, और you know, एक से एक बड़े आर्टिस्ट को थोड़ा बहुत समझने की वो एक सिलसिला शुरू से ही रहता है. तो वो, so I had heard a lot of stories of big ustads and pandits, you know, and teaching and the Guru Shishya Parampara and all those things, and the entire depth and range of music. So uh, so we read this news about Asghari Bai, where she was, you know, threatening to return all her Padma Shri, Shikhar Samman and Tansen Samman, ये सारे, कि ये सारे अवार्ड्स ले लो और मुझे 2 वक्त के खाने की रोटी का कुछ इंतजाम कर दो. You know, she was going through a very difficult time, and that somehow hit us very badly. She was already 85 then, and 9 children, but none of them were doing anything worthwhile. So everyone was dependent on her still. And that was when, with a friend, I said that we spoke and we said that if we make a film on her, maybe the government will, you know, do something for her that becomes a good uh, reason for the government to know what she's going through and things like that. And that gives us a wonderful opportunity to explore her entire range. So we connected with them. She was more than happy that we would make a film on. And when we moved a little more, it turned out that the palace in which she had grown up, you know, practically as a court singer, that Tikamgarh, तो वो ओरछा टिकमगढ़ में एक ही मॉडल पे बहुत सारे पैलेस बने हुए हैं, very grand. And that palace was under lock and key. It was completely locked, and there were talks about that palace and the Orcha palace being converted into 5-star hotels. So हमने किसी तरह से वहाँ के जो भी उस समय के राजा थे, इंचार्ज थे, उनसे हमने रिक्वेस्ट किया कि हम असगरी बाई को लेकर के उस महल में शूट कर सकते हैं क्या. तो वो महल एकदम वीराना है पूरा, मतलब एक भी कोई आदमी नहीं है वहां, सोल नहीं है. एंड असगरी बाई को हमने वहां पे बिठा के इंटरव्यू और ये सब हमने करना शुरू किया. And it became so interesting, you know, to shoot her on the terrace and in the, because unke liye to she could recall every single portion of that. So it became a very interesting device to tell her story. And that place helped her come up with a lot of memories. And she was a good storyteller. And then, of course, we worked very hard on the edit of it. The person who edited it, I had known him and had taken him. That was his first independent work. He had before that assisted. Today he has edited 50 feature films,
Wow.
550 over 50,
Wow.
and he's a big editor today. But he always remembers that वो film में इतना मजा आया वो edit करते हुए, because she was a lovely character and her experiences, that we could. So it was, but again, I could do that because musically I could understand a lot of things that she would talk about, what, the the Rishi Muni, the Raja, the patronage that we spoke about some time back. And ये राजा महाराजा के टाइम में एक बहुत जबरदस्त चीज होता था, ये जो पेट्रनेज होता था ना, ये I still feel that if the state should take that role today, that there should be a set of artists who should not be worried कि मेरा खाना का खर्चा कहाँ से चलेगा, वो आज बड़े स्टार होते हैं, कल होकर के उनके पास पैसा नहीं होता है, what happens then? So there should be some covering, some coverage where they must be taken care of, और शायद कुछ कहने के लिए कुछ है भी, आई एम श्योर. मतलब अगर आप कंप्लेन करेंगे तो वो कोई निकाल देंगे 16A रूल, इतना वो कि इसके तहत उनको ये मिलना चाहिए, वो मिलता है, उसको दिया है, वो दिया है, बट प्रैक्टिकली में बहुत there's a lot of gap. So that film became a deadly experience for me also, because she was a very powerful, articulate, witty, and raconteur 86-year-old woman then. And her face was brilliant because there were wrinkles all over. So the way the camera, like enjoyed her face and things like that was brilliant. So that became a very, very, and even the camera work in the film is very good.
एक
So,
चीज बताएं,
hmm?
हमारे जितने भी बड़े म्यूजिशियंस हुए हैं, उस्ताद हुए हैं, तो सबके लाइफ पे ऑलमोस्ट डॉक्यूमेंट्री फिल्म्स बनी हैं, चाहे उस्ताद बिस्मिल्लाह खां हो या आपने बनाई अस्करी बाई पे, और लोगों पे भी बने हैं, ऑलमोस्ट सब पे डॉक्यूमेंट्री बने हैं. बट फिक्शन बायोपिक हमें शायद ही किसी म्यूजिशियन के ऊपर देखने को मिलता है. तो क्या म्यूजिकल कॉपीराइट भी एक इशू है जिसकी वजह से फिल्म मेकर इससे दूर इसको टच नहीं करना चाहते हैं ऐसे सब्जेक्ट को फिक्शन फिल्म?
देखो, सी आई थिंक कॉपीराइट्स तो बहुत बड़ा इशू है. ओके, मतलब जब मैंने आर.डी. बर्मन के ऊपर ये फिल्म बनाई थी तो आई हैड promised to myself that I'll never make a film like this, because just to get the rights and then to meet their demands of payments, it's a big headache for. एक तो आप अपनी जिंदगी रिस्क लेकर के अपना पैसा डाल करके फिल्म बना रहे हो, ठीक है, या अगर कहीं से कमीशन भी हो रहा है तो भी ये सब का बजट बहुत लिमिटेड होता है. इट इज वेरी डिफरेंट फ्रॉम अगर करण जौहर सारेगामा से एक गाने का राइट लेकर के उसको रीमिक्स करके नए सिरे से कोई दूसरा आ देखें जरा किसमें कितना है दम डाल रहा है तो. ओके, बट हियर so there should be 2 or 3 categories depending on what is the intent, what is the affordability, what is the end result of the film. There should be scope to use these rights and all. It should not be a struggle. And secondly, I think the life rights of people, sometimes it can become very difficult. Like Kishore Kumar ke upar Anurag Basu has been wanting to make a film for years, 15 years that I know of. There was Manish Pandey, I think, who wanted to make. There was one more person who wanted to make. 3-4 बड़े फिल्म मेकर्स हैं जिन्होंने. रणबीर कपूर was looking forward to acting as Kishore Kumar and things like that. But वो है problematic है, मतलब अब मधुबाला का family is not okay with it, so then it becomes difficult because you have to take rights from the family and things like that. That way, luckily in documentary, any person's whose life has been on public domain, the information that is on public domain, you don't need a permission. You can make, it's like writing a book. You can write a book. You don't need permission. Official biography के लिए permission चाहिए होता है. Okay, but if I'm writing on Narendra Modi, I have the freedom to write. I don't need his permission. Okay. अब मैं कुछ उल्टा पलटा लिख दूं और फिर 25 लोग मुझे मारने के लिए आए, वो बात अलग है. ठीक है, मगर I don't need a permission technically. So in the same way, like, you know, in music also, I think music and life stories. I think music में दो तरह के rights हो जाते हैं. एक तो music का rights हो जाता है, दूसरा हो जाता है और ट्रिकी मामला है, बिकॉज अगर आप टोटली उससे बाहर चले जाते हैं तो देयर आर लॉट ऑफ पीपल हु कैन मेक मिसयूज ऑफ दैट आल्सो. सो I think it has to be seen the spirit and the intent of the person, and then but they should be more forthcoming because it's a win-win thing. I think अगर जगजीत सिंह पे एक फिल्म बन रही है आज जो मैंने बनाई, तो उससे 50,000 लोगों ने और 50 लाख लोगों ने अगर देखा है तो वो कंपनी के म्यूजिक के लिए भी अच्छा है, बिकॉज जगजीत सिंह की सारी गजलें वो रिवाइव हो रही है. उस समय में लोगों के पास कैसेट्स हुआ करते थे, सीडीज हुआ करते थे, अब सब कुछ डिजिटल हो गया है, तो अब फिर से लोग उन गजलों को जाकर के अपना डिजिटल लाइब्रेरी में जो भूल चुके थे बिल्कुल को ऐड कर रहे हैं. तो फायदा सारेगामा को ही हो रहा है, यूनिवर्सल को ही हो रहा है. तो so they should be nice and easy about a lot of these things, I think, generally.
फिक्शनल बायोपिक के मेरा स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चन ये था कि फिक्शनल बायोपिक नहीं बनती हैं किसी म्यूजिकल जीनियस पे. आज तक मैंने शायद नहीं देखी है.
हाँ, नहीं, अगर हम सोचेंगे तो कुछ ना कुछ तो निकल जाएगी, मगर हाँ, जनरली नहीं. स्पोर्ट्स के ऊपर बनती है,
साइंटिस्ट पे, स्पोर्ट्स पे, सब पे बन गई,
मगर म्यूजिशियन पे नहीं.
खाली एक वो बैजू बावरा बनी थी.
हाँ, तो वो तो ना बैजू को किसी ने देखा था ना तानसेन को किसी ने देखा था, you know. हाँ,
पुरानी हो.
करेक्ट. तो दे बिकम लाइक फिक्शनल कैरेक्टर्स प्रैक्टिकली, यू नो. बट आज किशोर कुमार के ऊपर बने, आज बिस्मिल्लाह खां के ऊपर बने, तो नहीं बनी है ऐसी. किशोरिया मुनकर के ऊपर बने तो नहीं बनी है ऐसी. You're right that way, yes.
So I think many of them have very interesting life stories. You know, पंडित हरि प्रसाद चौरसिया को ले लीजिए, वो रेसलर की ट्रेनिंग करते करते घर से भाग गए और फिर फ्लूट, यू नो, म्यूजिक में इंटरेस्ट ले लिया. पंडित
भीमसेन जोशी का वही है, ट्रेन में गाते थे क्योंकि पैसा नहीं था, वहां से गाते गाते कलकत्ते पहुंच गए. कलकत्ता में विष्णु चैटर्जी से सीखा. 3 दिन तक उनके दरवाजे पे रहे, उन्होंने कोई तवज्जो नहीं दी. बहुत सारे स्टोरीज हैं. और
would be an interesting character.
हाँ, और घर से भाग गए थे क्योंकि 1 चम्मच घी के लिए किसी ने रिफ्यूज कर दिया था, तो चिढ़ के भाग गए. तो बहुत अच्छी कहानी है. तकलीफ हो गया, अब आर्टिस्ट आदमी तो थे तो मन में तकलीफ हुआ थोड़ा, भाई घी खाने का मन था और किसी ने 1 चम्मच घी. उसके बाद से तो मैंने सबको बोला है कि भैया घी के लिए किसी को मना मत करना है, यू नो. नहीं तो बिल्कुल.
बहुत मजा आया आपके साथ बात करके ब्रह्मानंद जी.
सेम हियर हर्ष.
और हम इतना इंटरेस्टिंग था कि हमें खत्म करने का मन ही नहीं कर रहा था, और हम इतने डीप जो डिस्कशन है इसमें हम चले गए, तो इच्छा हुई कि इस सब्जेक्ट को और थोड़ा हम एक्सप्लोर करके देखें.
बिल्कुल.
म्यूजिक को.
बिल्कुल. Anytime, anything for you.
Sure. Thanks a lot. I know you always stand for us. Your love and affection is always with us.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank
You guys are doing a good job. Yes. Okay.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.